Congress is less than a month to come up with a game plan to avert a government shutdown, but it looks like they're trying to squeeze in a whole lot more than that in that time. Let's talk about it with my panel tonight. Fox 5 contributor and Democratic strategist Kevin Walling and conservative strategist and the head of Principles First, Brittany Martinez, both up late with me tonight here on the Final Five. Hi, guys. Good to see you again.
Hey, Jim.
Thanks for having me.
Good to be with you.
I want to start with you, Brittany, because I always feel like right now Republicans...
Well, the Republicans are in power, so...
I have all the answers.
Do you?
No answers.
They're back in session here. There's this government shutdown. There's a lot of what Republicans should do right now because, again, what do you want to see the GOP accomplish in the last months of this year?
Not shut down.
Yeah.
Number one. I feel like every time I'm on the show, are we going to shut down for one reason or another? Funding deadlines are like clockwork, and every year it's like Groundhog's Day. And so, yeah, I think number one, don't let the government shut down. And we're getting closer and closer to midterms. And so if we want to do well during midterms, which the party in power, we know the presidency usually does not,
right.
I think they need to get it together. And this Epstein file stuff, I don't think that's helping Republicans.
I want to talk about that in a second here, but one thing that Speaker Johnson had said this week, he and Hakeem Jeffries have been going back and forth. The ball is in the Democrats' court, I believe, is what Speaker Johnson said. Is that a fair assumption? Is that a fair thing to say right now when they're not in power?
No, not at all. And I really like Speaker Johnson. That probably doesn't help him actually speaking as the Democrat, because I think he has been trustworthy throughout the process. Something that we haven't seen with some Republican speakers in the past. But you've seen Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader, saying, we want to have a meeting with you all. Let's game this out. Let's have a top four meeting that's with the leadership of both chambers, because this deadline is looming. The government will shut down on the 1st, and Democrats are ready to come to the table, but that table's got to be set by the Speaker, and only the Speaker can do that.
Okay, so speaking of the Speaker, there was a lot of talk about getting a vote on these Epstein files, this release. A lot of people believe that Speaker Johnson kind of adjourned the House a little early to avoid that, but now you have this discharge petition, Thomas Massie circulating it with the help of Ro Khanna, and you have Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Nancy Mace signing on to this as well. The White House doesn't like this idea, but how important is it for transparency here as you look at this, knowing that, hey, look, there are Democrats and Republicans who are likely in those files?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the group of people you just named, I feel like it's the band of bandits. It's just people who you never see work together,
right.
But they have found the one thing to galvanize them, and it's this. And similarly to them, that's sort of what's galvanizing the MAGA base. How many times have we seen that Trump has said something or fallen back on a promise, and MAGA's like, oh, it's not a big deal, or oh, it's not, this is the one thing that they're kind of really holding his feet to the fire. And so I do think that it's important for those files to come out. I think that no one is above the law, and obviously we have to take care of the victims and the survivors, sure. But duh, we were always going to do that. So the fact that they're really sort of being very cautious about this is sort of alarming, and I think Americans understandably have a right to feel concerned. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, this issue is not going away, likely for this administration. We saw a very compelling press conference on the steps of the Capitol today with those survivors, with Ro Khanna, with Thomas Massie, with others. And there was a little bit of a time period, obviously, with Congress out of session during the August break where it kind of fell by the wayside. But you have oversight, hearings that are coming up. You still have people that have been called before these committees to testify. Our attorneys generals going back multiple administrations about this particular issue. So I think the president is in this delicate dance of trying to shift focus away from it, and that issue, to Brittany's point, is just not going to go away for them. All
right, so when every time Kevin pops up as the token Democrat on Fox News, a lot has been said about where the Democratic Party is right now, because they're certainly not in power. There's the talk about are the Democrats on the same page when it comes to messaging right now. Last time you came on, we talked about the Abigail Spanbergers of the world, the Mikey Sherrills of the world, who you believe are going to be the standard bearers for the party right now. Governors seem to be the pathway ahead. We've heard a lot from J.B. Pritzker, Gavin Newsom here. Are you happy with the messaging coming out from some of those louder voices right now within your party?
I'm certainly happy with the voices like Abigail Spanberger and Mikey Sherrill, who are going to win those governor's races in November and flip that mansion in Virginia and hold that state in New Jersey. I think, there's an auditioning process that's going on right now, not even just for 26, but for 28, right?
Yeah.
And, the administration benefits from propping up some of these governors, and these governors benefit from that fight with the administration. We'll see where the party's headed. I'm a center-left kind of guy. I want to hold up those voices like Mikey, like Abigail, that will win those races and take the party forward, build those broad coalitions, and drown out the extremities on both sides.
Now, if you're a Californian like Brittany here, Gavin Newsom's everywhere.
Yeah.
If you're looking at that for the party's chances or for the Republicans' chances, if you put up a Gavin Newsom in 2028, what's the advantages you think as a Republican looking at Gavin Newsom against the Republican Party? Where does that work into favor for?
Yeah,
the
I
GOP?
mean, I would say that as a California Republican, you know, obviously I'm probably not a big fan of Gavin Newsom and some of the things that he's done in the state, and you know, high-speed rail, like wildfires, like so many things that I can list for you. And I think he's doing his best to try to moderate himself. I feel like it's too little, too late. I think Californians know the truth, especially Republicans in California. I think that they're going to do their best to let folks know what the truth is with him. But as far as like him speaking out, Pritzker speaking out, I can't speak on behalf of Democrats, but I know that I've seen a lot of Democrats saying, I wish someone would fight for us. And so I'm sure that he's going to continue to get attention. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know. I do think Dems need to moderate themselves generally. But, you know, he's getting a lot of attention.
That's what I'm trying to do here, Brittany.
Yeah.
Every day, Brittany.
I know. Same on the other side.
Yeah. Voice is a reason right
Voice
here.
is a
Come
reason.
on.
Great to have you guys in. Good to see you both.
Thanks, Jim.